knowledge packets, daydreams, maps, and understanding. As software engineers, we might describe learning as forming associations between reference. The sky is blue, the rain is falling in Spain, mainly on the plain. We might call these learned facts knowledge packets, little bits of truth or errors that we possess. One can go a long way on knowledge packets. Early learning, as directed by adults for most children, focuses almost entirely on the acquisition of knowledge packets. Things that one should or should not do, methods for performing tasks, data to be retained and later recovered on demand. The trick with knowledge packet is to identify key features of the situation and determine what action to take. One can pass school certificates and degrees, drive cars, even chat up members of the opposite sex by using knowledge packets. Very adept knowledge packet users can fill their heads with megabytes of procedural text law and become accountants earning six-figure sums. Some politicians, on the other hand, omit the pattern recognition stage and use a single all-purpose knowledge packet for everything. Of course, we don't just stack up knowledge packets like dinner plates in our heads. From our earliest years, our natural response to gaining each new knowledge packet is to ask, why? We attempt to connect up knowledge packets to create a structure within our knowledge, a mental map. It gives us an understanding of the causes and effects within a situation. Thus, understanding allows us to derive a solution to any problem within the situation, instead of attempting to select a rote learning response. In later life, we must spend periods of reflection or daydreaming, where we trace through the relationships between that which we know. This broadens our integrated map and allows us to identify structures in the map that apply in different areas. We can then get a deeper map, allowing us to reapply knowledge. We rearrange our mental maps to produce simpler expressions and allow more understanding to be held in the mind at once. When we find a simpler way of looking at things, we find it hard to remember what it was like when the topic seemed complicated and we ourselves have grown with understanding the self and its knowledge domains inhabit the same space. So where does the self end and the data begin? Building the self by learning is an interwoven and mutually inclusive process. While with the knowledge packets, the division is clear. We become adept at using techniques through reflection that allows us to explore our maps. And the knowledge packets we have not yet connected. There are likely to be neurological underpinnings to what we do when we reflect, but some kind of abstract pattern recognition activity must be underway. We learn to use our brains. Without understanding, there can be little intelligent action. Without mental maps, there can be no understanding. Without reflection, there can be no mental maps, only knowledge packets. Action becomes intelligent with an understanding. Reflection helps us provide the connection between different knowledge packets so that they can connect up in mental maps. There are computer data structures called ontologies that hold vast numbers of truths in networks associated by a form of predicate logic. The CYC database, for example, used maps of the meanings of natural language well enough to interpret photograph captions and find examples for pictures needed by journalists.